Hey, Miss Page. I met you in person about 6 years ago, and there was just something that was very different about you from all the other people in the group that we were in. And I didn't have a lot of direction. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in life. I knew that I had big dreams and there were things that I wanted to do, but I had no idea how to do them or if they were even accomplishable because we have 5 kids, one of them's handicapped. And that just seemed like a lot of barriers, and I didn't see a lot of opportunity. I saw a lot of barriers. But in the past 6 years, I have started the business. One of the things about you that's very different, everyone wants to be a life coach. Everyone is trying to help people now, but you're the only one that I have ever seen that has proof of concept, that has the background and the history. You can Google search and see that you've actually done the work. And I don't believe you can lead someone where you haven't been. And I believe you've been there 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times over, and you're leading other people there. One of the other things that is fascinating about you is that you are reachable. Like if I message you, no matter where you are in the world, you will message me back. That is who else is in Dubai messaging saying, "Hey, what's up?" While, we're in different time zones, different parts of the world, but you make time for the people that make time for themselves, and you teach and you show and you lead by example. And also, when you got on that call with our church to kind of give information and say, "Hey, these are the things you need to do, here are some tips," you give the information, and if people listen, they go far. And it's valuable information. It's not just like the random stuff that somebody can Google. It's stuff that you've cultivated over the years, from making the mistakes and having the successes and knowing what does and doesn't work and changing with the times, because sometimes the information is stale from other people, but you're always current. It's always useful. And I am so grateful for that, because what worked 10 years ago may not work now, and you stay up on what's currently working, what people currently need, how you need to adjust, how you need to shift. And that, to me, more than the motivation, more than the encouragement, having updated information is priceless. And the other thing is the consistency of you as a person, the consistency of your love and your kindness, your willingness to help, and not, you know, what do I want to say? How do I want to say that? Not looking for something in return. Like, hey, I'm giving this. You can join me, but I'll give you information and I'll help you. And I'm not going to take it personally if you don't take my information, but I'm going to give it because I want to see somebody succeed. So many people don't really want to see people succeed. They just want what you can do for them. So that makes you, to me, that makes you different automatically, because you actually want to see people succeed. You want to see them do better. You want to see them come up. You want to see them change the trajectory of their families. So all of that, to me, made you stand out and extremely different from all the other people who are claiming to be life coaches, but there's no proof that they've had life yet. So that, to me, made you extremely different. And to put me and my family, you helped me and my husband get our businesses started and the funding and all of that stuff. And we are still going strong. The businesses are still up and running. I know most businesses fail. Ours have been up for 4 years and is still going. So just a testament to what you can do when you're coachable and when you listen and you do the work.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Miss Tina.
I was just a one of five from Louisiana, southern Louisiana, um, a town called Port Barry, that if you go back, you know what poverty is. The houses are shacks and everything else. And a lot of times when people say we're going to do a business meeting, it's in a conference room with chairs, but you did something very different. You put us in a whole different environment where I'm in a house. I am in like a villa in Florida with a pool and a private chef. You introduce people to bigger so that they can dream bigger, because this is something I couldn't have imagined. You have business meetings, the tea party, oh my goodness, dressed in Victorian, where people were coming up to us asking us if we were movie stars. You expose people to something that they couldn't imagine. I mean, some people come from families that do big things. I wasn't one of them. I came from a trailer with a hole in the floor. And to be exposed to trips to the Dominican Republic, where that's where you're having a retreat at to talk about business and self empowerment. Who else is doing that? So I just having yacht trips, things that you couldn't have ever thought about. And it's like blowing your mind like, wait a minute. Am I being invited to a yacht? This is something you see on TV. I grew up watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous and never imagined that some of the things and some of the places, a private chef, are you kidding me? That food was amazing. Starting our morning with yoga, you just do things differently, you move differently, and so we get different results, but you introduce people to a life they couldn't even have thought about or imagined. And that is huge to me.
That hit home. Thanks. That definitely hit home because I feel like the best way you can help people is by inspiring them, not lowering to their frequency to give them a hand out, but keep climbing and invite them in the doors. The doors aren't always going to be free, but that is exactly what will allow them to stretch. That's exactly what will allow them to actually figure out how they need to get in those rooms. But it's my job as a vessel to at least extend the invitation. Thank you so much for sharing that, Miss Tina. And I know Miss Dana Kay said she was listening in today. I don't think she is in a position to speak, but she's one of my ladies as well, and one of the current ladies I'm coaching. And her book is everything. I'll let her talk about that whenever she's ready. That's her gift to the world. But all I can say is it's amazing, and it's been an honor to help her complete it and bring it to the world. So I'm excited for all y'all to meet Dana one of these days. And I see Miss Mimi just joined. If you can hear us, saw her a minute ago. And Miss Demi is on here as well, if you'd like to share for just a minute. So Miss Demi can go and then Miss Mimi can go. Just your experience in working with me. I would say for sure in the landlord department. You can unmute Miss Demi.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Demi. Um, Miss Page has been mentoring me I would say over 15 years now. Most recently, she helped me with one of my biggest streams of passive income, which was obtaining my first rental property and getting a passive stream of income through rental income. So, going through that process with Miss Page, it was honestly life-changing because it was something that I had never been through before, an experience I've never went through before. So when you're taking a risk on yourself and investing in yourself, it can be intimidating, but and you can have a lot of fear about if you're going to be successful. But working with Miss Page, she always has that mentality that you can really achieve anything that you put your mind to. So anytime I went through any roadblocks during the process of obtaining my first rental property and getting my first tenant and generating that income, Ms. Beige was there for me during the whole process. Any questions that I had, she was there to help me answer. I remember at the time there was one issue that I had making sure that I was picking the right tenant, and Miss Beige also helped me with that. And even up to this day, I still have the same tenant that Miss Beige helped me pick, and it was one of the best tenants I've ever had, and she's been renting from me for over 6 years now. So that was one of the experiences that I've had working with Miss Page on getting that stream of passive income. So I was just extremely grateful to have her as a coach and a mentor throughout that process. And we're currently working on getting some more streams up and running for me. So that's definitely something I'm excited about and something that I'm looking forward to in the future.
Let's go, Demi. Thank you so much for sharing that. Hello.
Hi, everyone. My name is Misha York. I have known Beige over 5 years now. I was introduced through Beige to her book that caught a lot of people's attention, and especially my attention, how to get what you want without giving it up. After reading that book, I followed her on social media, and then I had the opportunity to meet her, and of course, I jumped on it. And through that opportunity, I was able to start learning trading and, just brushing up my skills in financial literacy, like literally learning, because a lot of things I had no idea before of, we don't get taught these things in school. I am so thankful for Miss Vade. She's left an incredible impact on my life. She's one of the few people that um, that voice still rings in my head to this day, even if I haven't spoken to her in months. Like, her voice will say something like, if you have a feeling that you need to do something, create something, you need to do it. You need to finish it. You need to see it through. You need to carry it through. And so I launched a book earlier this month. It's entitled The 10 Commandments of AI and Property Management. And of course, Paige was one of the people that inspired me to do the book. So I broke down, 10 practical and evidence-based rules of how we can, move, how we can move processes, operations to the next level. So AI can support us and we don't have to be so overwhelmed and overworked at work, staying home, staying at work late hours in the evening and all that stuff. We don't have to do that anymore. So I'm just grateful for that. And I'm grateful for Miss Sage for being an influence in my life to get that done.
Awesome, awesome. I love my ladies. And thank you all for joining, no matter what platform you are joining from. Thanks for showing up and thanks for being on time. And if you cannot see or hear me at any point, then definitely let me know. You can say something in the chat box. And if there's any technical difficulties still, then don't be afraid to just unmute because I need you all to hear everything that I am saying. All right, so I'm gonna hop off camera just a little bit so I can deliver this masterclass to y'all. But I am so excited, and how I intend to make this masterclass valuable to you is I'll explain why making good money doesn't automatically create time freedom or wealth. I'll break down my three-step next level blueprint that changed everything for me. I'll break down some of the actual streams of income that fund my lifestyle because the people want to see the receipts, okay? I'll walk you through frameworks I teach behind the scenes of my private mentorship, and I'll let you know how you can join us if you choose to. So if you can hear me, no echo or anything like that, then put a 1 in the chat box. If you can hear me, well, put a 1 in the chat box. I don't want to move forward until I see the ones. Need to make sure you all can hear me clearly. Or type in the chat box. Let me type as well. Can you hear me? Hey, Amber, I see you are on. Welcome, welcome. Can you hear me? You can unmute if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Let's go. Let's go. If at any point you can't, then feel free to jump in. Cool. So I'm going to explain how I went from working for money to building passive streams of income that actually work for me. And today I'll show you a simple way to start building passive income by using just three steps. It's my three-step blueprint. So even if you feel stuck, even if you feel confused or don't know where to start. So before we begin, three things. What I'm sharing are some things I've never shared before. So it requires your full attention. And feel free to take notes. Feel free to ask questions in the chat box. And actually, at the end, I will allow you all to unmute and ask questions. So write down those questions. And just know that creating passive income is not a get rich quick journey. It requires clarity, commitment, accountability. So if you don't take responsibility for your growth, this training probably will not be for you. And at the end, you will have an opportunity to work with me beyond this masterclass if you choose to. So I'll let you all know how you can do that. So quick questions. I just want to know who I am talking to, who showed up today. So what city are you in? Drop it in the chat box. What do you do for a living? And why did you join today? It's something that resonated with you. Maybe you got a text, maybe you saw an ad, maybe you saw a social media post, but it was something that resonated with you that made you want to join today. So let me know what that is. That would be great if you just drop it in the chat. Where you all from? I want to know. The people want to know. So I'll be looking out for that in the chat. But it's important to remember this works best when you take notes. So it's not just me talking at you, it's a conversation. So whatever questions you have, you type them in the chat box. I see ATL in the house. Let's go. Let's go. So this is a time to get exactly what you need because sometimes it's the smallest question that you may have that keeps you stuck. And I definitely do not want that for you. So if you have a question, you jot it down. And once again, if there's any time you cannot see the slides or if you cannot hear me clearly, then definitely let me know. So, do you know that 73% of women say they want financial freedom and time to live life on their terms, but only actually 27% actually take action to create that passive income? So, today you'll learn what the successful 27% did today. And for those of you who don't know me well, I'm Miss Paige Fletcher, internationally recognized life coach, business strategist, best-selling author, and transformational speaker. I've been featured on Dr. Phil, True TV, The Breakfast Club, Millionaires Matchmaker, and I'm the founder of the Gold Group. So I conduct financial empowerment workshops titled Design Your Life. And I've been blessed to be financially free for over 20 years. I have seven streams of income, over seven streams of income at this point. And I don't take that lightly because I really had to learn everything from trial and error, from books, from mentors, from traveling. In fact, I've been to over 40 countries: Santorini, Colombia, Dubai, the pyramids in Mexico, Machu Picchu in Peru. I did my Eat, Pray, Love journey. I went to Italy and India and Bali. I was actually in Bali a little over a year ago for 3 months. I bought a one-way ticket and I was like, let's just see what happens. So I lasted there for 3 months. That was an amazing journey. But yeah, I've been all over the world. I've been blessed, but it didn't happen by chance. It happened by strategy. The first thing I had to do was overcome my fear because a lot of times we say we want success, but when it's time to pull the actual trigger, we hesitate because of inner limiting beliefs. So one of my fears was I was afraid to fly. I'm like, how are you going to see the world if you are afraid to fly? So a lot of times somebody can tell you what to do, but until you break your limiting beliefs, it's going to be hard to get to the next step. So I'm super excited. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. Like I said, I've traveled to over 40 countries. I've been financially free for about 20 years. I have over seven streams of passive income, but it didn't happen by chance. And if you are on this masterclass today, then I know it's something about you, or I know something about you even without knowing you personally. I know that you want your time back, okay? I remember being in cubicles or working a 9 to 5, oftentimes two 9 to 5s, and it just did not make sense. Yes, I was making money, but it wasn't life-changing money. And when I sat down and calculated how much I would have at retirement if I kept on this path, it would not be enough, honestly. It would not be enough. And yes, some of the jobs were okay or tolerable, but I did not want to spend 40 more years working for somebody else, and I knew it had to be another way. I definitely I felt unfulfilled and quite frankly depressed, sitting at that desk for 8 hours a day and just counting down the hours and then counting down the days till Friday, and then Monday I have to do it all over again. So at some point I started modeling and acting, and that was a bit more fulfilling than working a random 9 to 5. But it was still so depressing, and it was depressing because it was still like a rat race. Yes, I would get booked for some of the gigs, but then I would spend that check and then I'm back in line waiting for somebody to hire me again. So it was not a sustainable way to build wealth. So I knew I had to change something. So I watched other successful, well, not successful, but other smart, hardworking women trade their hours for dollars with no end in sight. And I felt completely trapped because no matter how much money I made, I never really had enough time to do the things I wanted and spend with my family and travel the way I wanted. So I knew something had to change. And I had a realization. I realized that working hard didn't automatically mean I was creating wealth or freedom. So I remember vividly the day something shifted inside of me. I was speaking to one of my close friends, and we were out for dinner, and I always shared my ideas and my dreams with him. And I used to always have a little piece of paper or ask the waitress for a napkin and a pen so I can write down these brilliant ideas. I used to think they were brilliant, brilliant ideas I always had and shared with him. And then one day he said, "Do not be one of those super smart people who stay broke all your life." And I felt that one in my gut. I was like, wow, because I knew exactly what he meant. I saw other people who were smart. I saw people with bachelor's and master's and doctorates and PhDs, and they still were not financially free. I was like, I don't know what has to change, but I need to find another route. I need to find another route. And I remember the day my perspective changed about life. It was the day I got a phone call from my sister saying that my mom passed away. It was one of the most devastating, shocking days of my life. And what stood out to me was what she left behind, which was not much. You know, she had 10 kids. We were all grown at the time, but it wasn't much of a legacy, I would say. It wasn't much of an empire. It wasn't much of anything. She didn't have life insurance. What she passed away with was 52 cents. She passed away with debt. The mindset we got handed down was food stamps and low income housing and try to get on the Section 8 list so you can get your rent for the low. You know, I remember she was excited to make it to 60 years old so she could now ride the bus for about 50 cents instead of a dollar. And those were the kind of dreams I was surrounded by. And I was like, something has to change. When I have my family, I want to be able to give them a better life than the one I had. So I know something had to change. I remember a phone call vividly. Me and my sister were at my mom's house and we were cleaning out her apartment. And we got a call from Rent-A-Center, and they was like, "Is Mrs. Fletcher there?" I said, "Actually, she passed away." And they did not care. They were like, "She rented some couches from us, and we're trying to pick up the couches." Okay. I'm like, I felt like I was at an all-time low. I definitely didn't want my child to ever feel like that if I ever had children, you know? So I knew I had to be the one in my circle and in my family to really break the generational curse. People say it's generational curses, but I really feel like it's generational choices. We end up in the same position that our parents and grandparents did because we made the same choices. We end up with the same sicknesses because we ate the same food. So at the end of the day, it was a choice, and I was ready to break those choices. I was ready to break the cycle. And I remember the day I actually made a decision. So it's different from changing your perspective or knowing something has to change, and it's a difference to deciding what's going to change. So at 21 years old, when I had my daughter, I said I had to do something differently. I knew there had to be a better way. And I was living in Orlando at the hood at the time. And I knew I needed to be around bigger thinkers, around successful people, around the wealth mindset. And back in the day, I used to watch TV. I haven't watched, like, I don't, I gave up TV maybe 20 years ago at this point. But I knew I had to be around successful people. And in my mind, the only place I knew where they were at was Hollywood, California. So I said I was going to save up my $500 and take that drive from Florida to California. And I did that. It was one of the toughest decisions of my life because I went by myself. I never knew what LA looked like. It was my first time there. I had a friend that said, if you make it, you can crash on my couch. And it was the toughest decision of my life because I chose to leave my daughter behind, not as in abandoning her. Yes, she was with her dad and grandma and auntie and great grandma, and then my parents around the corner. But it was still the toughest decision because I didn't know when I would have enough money to come back and see her. I didn't know if she would remember me, but I knew something had to change. And when you hit a place where you feel like it's rock bottom for you and you would rather be dead than living the life you were living, then something changes. Okay. So something definitely shifted inside of me when I saw my mom in a coffin. And I'm like, wow, you can really do the best you can and still end up with nothing all your life, never really travel anywhere, never become financially free. I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that. So I saw what death was like. I was like, that's the worst that's gonna happen. Okay, we all gonna die anyway. So I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna shoot my shot. And especially when my daughter was born, I said, I gotta shoot our shot because nobody else was gonna give her the life that I felt like we deserved. So I gassed up my car that day and I drove to Los Angeles, California. It took me 3 days. It was over $3,000. It was over 3,000 miles and I only had $500. I put $300 worth of gas in the car and I was left with $200 when I got to LA. Everybody said I was crazy. Everybody said I was irrational. And yes, you have to be irrational if you want to get results that nobody else got. So I knew how my life would end up if I stayed in Orlando, Florida, in that hood. I didn't know what would happen when I drove to LA, but I was willing to take that chance. Thank God I did because that's when everything changed. And I tell people like faith happens in movement. People like to sit down and they pray and they stay still and they wait and they wait and they wait for a sign. Like you gotta show God you trust him by moving. If you ever had that feeling inside of you, if you ever had an urge to do something, especially repeatedly, I feel like that's God's way of communicating with you. And you have to just start. Once you start, doors will continue to open, but you can't just wait until the door open to make the move. So that's when everything changed for me. That's when I met my mentor. I was in a bookstore shopping for books. You know, I love my books. I love my books. So I was shopping for books. He was shopping for books, and he struck up a conversation with me and said, "Hey, hon, like, my name is James, and what's your name and why did you come to LA?" I told him I came to LA to try my hand at modeling and acting. And he said, "Sweetie, you're gorgeous and I'm sure you're talented, but everybody comes here for the same thing. Have you ever thought about writing movies or scripts or books?" And I thought about a book idea I had at the time, and I wasn't going to tell him, but I told him. I had only wrote one page so far. And when I told him the idea, he said, finish it. It's going to be a bestseller. Who would have known that this man was James Cannon, Nick Cannon's father? He took me under his wings and he stayed on me for the next 2 weeks and encouraged me to finish that book. Not only finish that book, but self-publish that book, which I did. Not only self-publish, but go looking for publicity. So when I said, okay, I need free publicity, so should I write into book? Or should I write into smaller radio stations or smaller local TV shows? He said, "Sweetie, think bigger." I said, "Bigger like Oprah and Dr. Phil?" He said, "Yes." So I wrote into those shows, and lo and behold, Dr. Phil had me on his show. It really changed the course of my life, but I would have never known what could have happened. I would have never known I could have written a best-selling book, landed on Dr. Phil not only one time, but 3 times, and that would change the course of my life. So when you all have a dream, you don't have to see the whole picture. You don't have to have every piece of the puzzle together. You just have to be responsible for taking the first steps. So that drive to LA really changed the course of my life. And on, it's like being on that show and getting so many checks from that one book that I wrote that became a bestseller. That taught me what the rich and wealthy knew that was not taught in school. It was about passive income, residual income, and investing. Those were really the ways to become wealthy, and to get out of the rat race. So Dr. Phil had me on his show 3 times, and women from all over the world were able to find me and reach out to me. And that was almost 20 years ago. And that's how I became a life coach. But getting those checks in the mail it was just unreal. It was surreal. It wasn't one check, it was actually 7 different checks. Barnes and Nobles, iTunes, Amazon, Books a Million, Borders, and a few other entities. And it almost felt illegal. I'm like, wow, can you really create something one time and continue to get paid not only months, but years? My first book still pays me to today, 2 decades later. So this is what the rich and wealthy know. There are so many systems, there are so many ways to create money passively. And thank God I've been able to figure that out. I do not take that lightly. And I'm going to share my mentorship program with you all at the end of this class. And that is my gift to the world. Like, I sat down and thought about, like, why am I here? What is it that I can teach people that uniquely mastered, and it's passive income. And I can humbly say that after 20 years of not having to clock into a 9 to 5. So I'm super excited to gonna be able to share some of these things and some of my actual streams with you all. I feel like I crossed over to the other side, from a little girl living in the hood, being on food stamps, trying to get in the Section 8 programs, like, to now driving my dream cars, buying my yachts, being able to fly private every now and then. Like, I don't take that lightly. And I don't take it lightly because that's not the lifestyle I was born into. I literally had to spend thousands of hours researching and read it and going to workshops and conventions and signing up for like tens of thousands of dollar programs and through mentorship and travel. So it wasn't one specific place I could learn, how to acquire wealth or how to create different streams of income. So that's why I created my next level mentorship program, because it was literally, I couldn't find it anywhere. And I know there's other women out there who would love a one-stop shop, a one place they can come with a mentor who's actually been there, done that, to actually guide them through the process. So I created it. But I would say what is even better than living the lifestyle I live and traveling the way I do and being able to have the dream cars and buy my yachts and fly private is to take my girls with me. Okay. What's better than experiencing a 10-bedroom villa is to have a retreat there. That's what I did in Orlando a few years back. What's better than going to the wealth conventions is to be able to bring my ladies and my people there with me, a lot of times when I go to these 5-star places, it's not much representation. It's not a lot of people who look like me. And instead of wondering why and questioning why not, I created a table for my people. Okay. So this is a photo of us at the Ritz-Carlton for my annual tea party. So I would say that's the best thing about being successful, is just showing other people that it's possible. You do not have to be a genius. You do not have to be tech savvy. Like, the average person can create passive streams of income. You just have to want it. You have to show up, and you got to do the work. Be coachable. So I made teaching my life's work. I created a blueprint that actually works for women stuck in the 9 to 5 grind. And I'm proving that you don't have to choose between security and freedom. You don't have to totally walk away from your 9 to 5 right now. It's not rational, okay? It's definitely not rational, but you can take some time every month to start creating streams. You can put a piece of the puzzle together every day, and then you will be glad that you did, because guess what? The time is going to pass anyway. So where will you be in the next 12 months? Are you going to be closer to your goal? Or are you going to be further from your goal? Or are you going to be in the same spot you are today. The choice is really up to you. But the same strategic thinking that makes corporate women excellent at their jobs can be applied to building passive income streams. So the same work ethic that drives success in a 9 to 5 can create financial freedom. Wealth isn't just about making money, it's about creating income that doesn't require your physical presence. And that probably blows most people's mind because most people only know to work and then you make money. But there's so many ways where you can create something one time, not even show up again, and you still get paid from that thing. Okay. So I humbly say that I've mastered multiple streams of income, and now I teach others how to do the same without quitting their jobs prematurely or spending thousands of dollars up front. And today, that's the blueprint I want to share with you. And that's why I created Next Level Mentorship, where it really combines real world experience with proven strategies. And it works in 3 simple steps that I'm going to share with you all in just a few. But why you can trust that this works is because I have 20 years of lived experience. It's not just what I studied. It's not me learning something, reading it, then teaching it. Like I lived this, okay? I've helped thousands of women successfully create passive income streams, and I've even built a marketing funnel that generated $2 million on my own. And I have personal experience breaking generational poverty. Like I've done what I'm showing you today. So, yes, I've helped thousands of women create passive income streams and shift the way they think about money. But past results don't guarantee future results. I'm not telling you you're going to come in here and make millions or even thousands of dollars overnight, but I'm telling you it's possible. But I don't know your work ethic. I don't know your drive. I don't know your level of discipline. I don't know your schedule. But what I can promise you is that every month I will be showing up and showing you how to create a different stream of income in a certain area. So every month it will be something new, it'll be something fresh, and it's up to you to see if that resonates with you or not. And do you want to start delving down that area? So, as long as you're not driving, I want you to close your eyes for about 60 seconds. We're going to go into our imaginary lane. A lot of people say it's hokey pokey and it's child's play and that doesn't work. It absolutely works. And the more I read and the more I study, I realize that a lot of successful people do this. They close their eyes and they imagine themselves living their ideal life, driving their ideal car, speaking in front of an audience of thousands on stage. Like they see their bank account with the millions coming in. Like they actually saw themselves becoming successful or being successful before they actually lived it the in the physical. And the more you do this, if you can close your eyes every single morning when you wake up and imagine your ideal day, imagine your ideal life, I promise you, you will bring it closer and closer to you. And the most amazing thing is when you open your eyes and you are not living that life that you want to live, you will work even harder and smarter to bring that life to you because it will feel so real. When you can get to the point that you don't have to close your eyes anymore, you can actually see your mansion, you can see your dream car. You can see your vacation. You can see the money in your bank account. You can see how you want to decorate your home. Like then that's a whole nother level, okay? But take 60 seconds, close your eyes, and imagine waking up tomorrow without an alarm clock, and you're checking your phone and you see money hit your bank account while you sleep. I mean, deposits, deposits, deposits. You have so many different streams of income, you don't even know where it's coming from right now. Is that from your book that you wrote? Is it from a course that you designed? Is it from one of your rental properties? Nobody knows. We just have so many deposits, deposits, deposits. So picture having the freedom to spend mornings with your kids or your family or travel whenever you want, or finally work on that passion project, or finally work on your health. Honestly, like most people aren't healthy because they can't afford it. They can't afford to shop organic. They can't afford to go to a holistic doctor. They can't afford to take off work and do a 3-day water fast or a 7-day water fast like I've done a few times that totally reset my system. They can't afford herbs and certain supplements, okay? And I feel like if most people had passive income, they'd be way more healthier. Passive income can solve so much. They say most marriages end not because of infidelity, but because of finances now. Can you imagine that? So imagine if you had a few streams of passive income coming in. And a lot of times people may think, oh, it has to be thousands of dollars in one area. No, you can generate 500 a month from one book, 1,000 from another book, 200 from another book, 300 from a course, and then it adds up. But you have to know how much passive income you would need first. Okay, but it's definitely possible. So while your eyes are closed, just now try to feel how that would feel. Because it's not only imagining your ideal life that's going to bring it to you, it's you being able to feel that feeling and bask in that feeling and have that gratitude before you actually have those tangible things. That's what's going to bring that life to you. So ask yourself, what would that level of freedom do for your confidence, for your health, for your family, or for your legacy? And that feeling that you feel right now, just know that you can access it at any time. When life feels overwhelming, when you're looking at your check and the math isn't mathing, just know that it's possible. It's possible to become financially free. So whatever you just imagined, you can access that at any time. And if you closed your eyes and you actually saw something, and you saw a scene, you saw your life, you saw your room, you saw your vacation, then it's already done. They said God would not give us a vision without equipping us with what we need to bring that vision to life. So it's
I
already done. You
joined
just got to do the
this
work.
amazing team because I follow Beige on Instagram and she is amazing and she's doing amazing and fabulous things and helping her team. And I got to see that over a period of time. And so I jumped by faith and joined the team and I am excited to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
Awesome. That is one of my ladies, Coco Rochelle. So I would say what most women try that makes things worse is trying to figure it all out alone without any guidance, or starting and stopping because there's no accountability, or spending money on courses but never finishing them, or getting advice from someone who doesn't have the actual results that they want. But here's what you do not need. You don't need years of trial and error to figure this out. You don't have to quit your job before you're ready. You don't need thousands of dollars up front to get started. You don't need a business degree or tech skills, and you do not have to be someone you are not. I'm a firm believer if your income doesn't fit your personality, you're not going to want to work on it over time. You're not going to be passionate about it. It's going to feel like a drag and it's going to take you harder to get to that goal. So that's why I'm a firm believer that your streams need to fit your personality. And I'm going to talk a bit about that. But I'm introducing the next level system. So it's a three-step mentorship program designed specifically for people ready to build passive income and take control of their life. This is one of my ladies, Adia. Adia is one of my coaching clients all the way from France. And I remember one of her biggest goals was to make it to Santorini, Greece. And even though it was right there in Europe as well, it just seemed so far-fetched to her. But after coaching her for a while and, just letting her know that her dreams are possible, I not only coached her, but I met her in France and we took her dream trip to Santorini. So I just love helping people and letting them showing them that their dream is possible. So who this masterclass is designed for? Women who make good money but want time freedom, women who are ready to take action and need a clear blueprint with accountability, women who've been reading self-help books, buying courses, researching on YouTube, going to workshops, but still feel stuck in the learning phase, and women who value mentorship from someone who has actually done it. So I would say what makes this masterclass or this program different from others is it's not just a standalone course that you watch. It's actually live monthly coaching, so you'll have accountability. It's not generic advice, it's actually personalized to your goals. Like you'll be able to unmute and ask questions. It's not a get rich quick scheme. These are real proven strategies. And it's not from someone who just studied it in theory. I actually lived it for over 20 years.
Hi, my name is Erica. So I decided to come out because I really wanted something different. And I'm about to just go the other route of the 9 to 5. And
Let me reshare that. Cool. Okay, you all can still see the screen. One second.
hi, my name is Erica. So I decided to come out because I really wanted something different. And I'm about to just go the other route of the 9 to 5. And I know she has a secret, and I just wanted to find out. And once I was sitting there, she's just pouring so much information. I had to write them down, and I have to go back home and just go through everything because all she said was just like resonating with me. I had to go and just listen to her. So if you need some information, you need to come out.
Hi, my name is Latasha and I just attended Beige's Vision Board Party. Thanks for having me. I learned so much. I'm inspired, ready to go chase my dreams. Thank you, Beige, for having me. Your story is amazing and you have inspired me to really, really run after my dreams.
But here's what I find the most powerful. These women didn't just learn about passive income, they built it. They took action, they created streams that worked while they slept. And that's the power of live mentorship with someone who's actually done it. So I would say these are the three core problems most women face. And if you are a one, two, or three, drop it in the chat box. So problem number one is analysis paralysis. Number two is execution anxiety. And three is accountability gap. So, all right, so let me explain number one. So, for analysis paralysis, you spend hours researching best passive income ideas, but you can't decide where to start. You feel paralyzed by too many options, courses, books, or YouTube videos. You worry about picking the wrong path and wasting time and money. You see other women succeeding and wonder, why not me? Or you stay stuck in research mode because you are afraid of making the wrong choice. If that sounds like you, drop a one in the chat box. Or are you a number two, suffering from execution anxiety? So you buy courses but never finish them because you don't have life support. You start projects but stop when challenges come up because there's no one to ask questions. You've read self-help books but struggle to apply what you've learned to your specific situation. You attend workshops and conventions that inspire you, but weeks later, you're back to where you started. Or you feel like you're always learning but never earning. Drop a two in the chat box if that sounds like you. Or are you a number three? And you are, yeah, have a problem with accountability. So you don't have anyone in your circle who understands your goals or thinks like you. You feel judged by family and friends who question why you want more. You worry that people will criticize you if you try and fail again. You lack mentorship, you lack a mentor who's actually built passive income to guide you through the challenges, or you feel isolated and alone in your journey towards financial freedom. So are you a one, a two, or a three? Drop it in the chat. I see Shane on, Kyan on, Amber. Drop it in the chat if you are one, or two, or three, or if you are on any of the platforms, drop it in the chat. I would say the good news is I can help you with all three. And I know you all know about the income trap. So the harder you work at your 9 to 5, the more you get promoted, the more money you make, the more responsibilities you take on, resulting in having less time and less freedom. Then on top of that, the more you research passive income on your own, the more confused and overwhelming you get. And the cycle continues until you give up completely or you find someone who can actually guide you through the process. So most people are only familiar with earned income where they work, more than likely a 9 to 5, and they get money. But earned income is only one form of income. And when I heard one of my mentors, Robert Kiyosaki, say working is the worst way to make money, it blew my mind. It blew my mind because it was the only way I knew how to make money at the time, but it's actually so many other ways. For instance, You have profit income. So that's money made from selling a product or a service for a product. And you all can feel free to take screenshots. Then you have interest income, which is money earned by lending to others, like how banks make money. Then you have capital gains, where it's money you received when you sell assets like a house. Then you have the dividend income, where it's money earned by companies that pay out dividends to shareholders, like how some stocks, you can make money on the stock, but there's actual other companies where, in addition to the money that they pay out on the stocks, they also pay a dividend. Then you have rental income. So that's money earned by real estate or renting out real estate. And then you have royalty income. So that's money earned from owning and licensing intellectual property. So there are so many ways to make income that you don't have to actively show up for it. And unfortunately, it is not taught in school. But as promised, I wanted to show you some of my actual streams. So here we go. And feel free to take screenshots. All right, so we talked about my book. So I've actually written a few books at this point. So you can make money with the actual physical copy of a book, like the hard copy, the paperback or a hardcover. That's one way you can make money. You can also make money from books as ebooks where people can just download it. The downside of that is they can also share it if it's a PDF, but you can also make money on the Kindle. As a matter of fact, after a few years of publishing my first book, I did realize that some of the income went down, and I did some research and I found out it's because people were consuming it differently. Now, instead of the physical copy, they were actually reading it on the Kindle. So I had to put my book on the Kindle platform. So sometimes with passive income, you may have to tweak things a bit. And a few years after that, I noticed that it dwindled down again. And I did more research. Comes to find out, most people were consuming the books through audiobooks. So I had to go to a studio and read my book and turn it into an audiobook. Today, you all can do that in the comfort of your own home as long as you have a clear mic, okay? So that's already what, four different ways you can make money from a book. And then you can also use it as a lead magnet. So with this screenshot right here, or this screen, it's free, but I can still get paid. And you'll notice a lot of people giving out their book for free, and this is how they still get paid, because once they give out the free book, and people download it, they get the person's email address in exchange, and that way they can market to them in the future. So they may have a course that correlates with that book, or they may have a program that goes with that book, or is a companion to that book, so they can still make money even though they're giving out the actual book for free. Or sometimes you'll see them say, "Hey, we'll ship you a book, and all you have to pay is, $6 for shipping." So the customer gets the free book, and the creator gets the email address, which is essentially money, because they can always promote something else to their database. So that's one of my streams of income, my books. Another stream is my physical products. So the best thing about this day and age is you don't even have to store your physical products. You don't even have to ship your physical products yourself. And I'm dropping a nugget. There are drop shipping companies, so write that down. So with a drop shipping company, you can have your merchandise manufactured, and your manufacturer actually ships it to your drop shipping company, and they will handle your order. So when you get an order for whether it's a book or a subscription box or floral arrangements, whatever it may be, your drop shipping company actually sends it out, so you don't even have to touch it. For the first few months when I had my book, like every 3 days, I was at the post office mailing them out every time I had orders. And after a while, it got a bit annoying, and it no longer felt like passive income. And I did research and I came across the drop shipping companies. So don't sleep on these companies. They have big, big warehouses where they can store, thousands of square footage of inventory, and you can have your stuff mailed to them and they mail it out for you. So in my gratitude box, I have a 3-wick gratitude candle that says I'm so happy and grateful. I have a mug that says I'm so happy and grateful, so you can drink your tea or your coffee out of it in the morning. I have a clear sticker you can put on your mirror that says I'm so happy and grateful, and uh, a dry erase marker that says Miracle Maker, so you can write your affirmations on your mirror and daily. You can even peel the mirror off and it won't create any residue. Like if you're traveling, you can put it in your hotel bathroom. Because I'm a firm believer of not only vision boards, but actual vision environments. You need things in place to keep you motivated, to keep you inspired, to act as little triggers around the house or around the office or even in your car that keep you working on your goal. And that's why I created that gratitude box. So it has a few other things in it, but physical inventory is how I generate income as well. Then I have one of my favorites, courses. I love courses because no matter where people are in the world, they can click the button and download the course and start consuming the content right away. And it does not take a lot of money to create courses. People do not know this, but if you have a Canva account, you can create a course, okay? I'm a firm believer that we are all experts at something. It's something that you've mastered. Maybe it's what you do professionally and you've been doing it for your boss or your company for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You can do that thing yourself. You can create a course. If someone has complimented you on the same thing at least 3 times, then that's probably something you can teach in a course or write a book on it. So don't sleep on the compliments that you've gotten. Maybe you are a mother, you successfully homeschool your kid, like you can create a course or write a book on that. So this is one of my courses, Secret Travel Hacks, Travel the World, even on a 9 to 5 budget, how you can save on travel, travel for free, and even get paid. So I've been creating courses for years. And it's in line with my lifestyle because I love to travel. As long as I have my handy dandy laptop, I can create content. And it's been a blessing because I actually create content doing what I love, which is traveling. So it's so many things you all can create courses on. So this is one of my streams. PDFs, that's another one of my streams. And the funny thing is, you can spend 2 months or 2 years and write a book, and for the most part, books sell between $15 and $25. That's the going rate for a book. But you can create a PDF that takes you 10 minutes or takes you 1 hour, and it may be 2 pages long or 10 pages long, and you can sell it for $100, you can sell it for $1,000. So it's crazy how people think of books versus other forms of content. It's not really the length that people are paying for. People are paying for solutions. So if you can solve their problem, the quicker you can solve it, the less they have to read, then it's like the more money you can charge. Okay. So PDFs is how I make income as well. So digital products, it can be 10 pages, it can be 2 pages, but as long as you are delivering useful information. So on the left is the brand plan planner. So it's some branding strategies and branding advice and branding steps that I teach people. And on the right is top 10 travel gadgets. So this one is actually free. And this is also a nugget. So it's free to your consumer. So they are ready to click the link, they are ready to download it, but you can still get paid. And here's how, because once people download it, it's 10 of my favorite things that I use for travel. And yes, it's free to them, but for each of these products, I created an affiliate link. So when people buy them through my link, then I get a commission from the company. And it's a win-win-win for everybody. So there's so many ways to make money out here. And affiliate links, that's one of the things I taught in the mentorship program last month. So if you all choose to come on board today, then you'll be able to watch those recordings right away. So this is another stream of income for me. I own real estate, mostly in Georgia. So some of the properties I rent out the full property, mostly to Section 8 tenants, and I've been using Section 8 tenants for about 12 years now. Yep, about 12 years now. And I'm glad I didn't listen to people deter me from doing it in the beginning because they used to say, girl, they're going to tear up your property and they're not going to take care of your home. They're going to put holes in your walls. And I'm glad I didn't listen. It's all about screening your tenants properly. And if you all were on this call from the beginning, you heard the testimony from Demi saying when she chose to become a landlord and she came to me for coaching, I showed her how to screen her tenants and she has the same tenant for 6 years. Okay. So this was her very first stream of passive income, and she rented out that property. And 6 years later, she's getting a check in the mail, and she doesn't even live in that state anymore. So y'all don't sleep on passive income. So some of the properties I put them on Airbnb, and I rent them out by the room. So this was one woman who rented a room for a month, and that was over $1,200 passively, and that was like a that that property had way more than 4 bedrooms. So you don't have to own multiple properties to start getting money from real estate. It can be your own home right now. Like some of you may have a 3 bedroom, some of you may have a 2 bedroom apartment, some of you may need to get a 2 bedroom place and rent out one room just to test it, just to work out the kinks and use that money, save that money for a down payment for another property. So you can't wait for the perfect time. You can't wait until you have a whole house. Just start small, but start now. And some people may say, "Well, I don't want strangers in my property, and I don't trust everybody energy." Listen, if you don't want to work a 9 to 5 for 40 years, you got to get uncomfortable in the beginning. You got to make some form of sacrifices in the beginning, okay? And once again, think about the future you and think about where you will be in 12 years from now. Do you want to be in the same place? Yes or no? I had to do a lot of things I was not comfortable with. So one day I could live like most people can't. And thank God I started years ago. So they said the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The second best time is today. Okay. So you can't wait for the perfect time. You got to start trying different things. Another way I generate passive income is through Turo. So renting cars on Turo. I've been on Turo before Turo was Turo. I've been on Turo since they used to call it relay rides, and I have multiple cars on them, and it can be just regular everyday cars, Toyotas, Hondas, whatever. Well, if you're buying a car from scratch, I wouldn't recommend Kia, and I wouldn't recommend the Honda. I mean the Hyundai. So no Kia or Hyundai. And I say that because the insurance on those two cars are really high in most insurance companies. I think they say because they're kind of easier to get stolen. But yeah, Turo is definitely one of the ways I generate income. So if you all have a car that you don't use every day of the week, maybe you can rent it out on the days you are not using it. Or maybe you have your vacation coming up for 2 weeks. You will not be home. You will not be in that city. Maybe you can test it out then. For those of you who are getting a tax return every year, maybe you want to use your tax return to buy a car from the auction, start putting it on Turo. So get savvy with it and just think about different streams of income. That's what this program is all about. So that's definitely one of the ways. And this was the span of 1 month, and I earned $615 on that one. People may say, oh, that's not a lot of money, but it adds up. It all adds up, and it really depends on how you're investing that money. So if you're just blowing it on shoes and clothes, then you're gonna be in the same spot. It's about reinvesting those profits. It's about buying assets with those with that profit. It's about buying collectibles and commodities, like silver. Like silver is one of the things I definitely collect. So what are you doing with that money? So people may say, oh, that was just $600. It doesn't matter. Like buy $600 worth of silver, okay? Buy $600 worth of gold and just sit on it. Buy $600 worth of crypto and just sit on it. So passive income beats earned income anytime because you're not trading your hours for it. So this is an actual screenshot of one of my books for a certain amount of time. And this was 11,498 books sold. Imagine the day my mentor said, you should write that book. What if I just laughed it off? What if I didn't listen? At that time, do you think I actually believed that I could finish the book? I didn't know what I was doing. I was just taking it one page at a time. And that's what I'm asking you all to do today. Just take it one step at a time. And, like take one step at a time. Do one thing each day. Show up on these calls each month. Join the program, and then you'll be so glad in a year from now that you did. Well, Steve Jobs said you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. But you got to take the first step. Another way I generate income is by buying stocks. And I like stocks that pays the dividends as well, because not all stocks pay dividends. That's a nugget. Write it down. So try to choose stocks that pays dividends. And I remember asking one of my mentor, like, how does he know the right stocks to buy? And he told me that he buys the news. I'm like, what does that mean? You buy the news? He said he watches the news and he waits until there's companies in trouble and they all in the headlines. And once their stock plummeted and goes down, then he buys it. Because for the most part, people are very forgetful and people are very forgiving. So if a company was already around for 50, 60, 70 years and they're in the media one, two times, like that doesn't mean the masses aren't gonna use them again. So he buys them and then he holds on to them for months or years until they come back up. I was like, wow, that's genius. I remember in COVID watching the news, which I gave up TV, what, 20 years ago? But at that point, we were all home. So I was watching the news. And I remember them saying that the Norwegian cruise lines was stuck out there, and I saw the stocks plummet, and that mentor's advice came to mind. And I not only bought Norwegian Cruise Lines, but I bought a bunch of other companies that their stocks went down, especially in the travel sector. Like, I did not believe that these airlines were just going to be grounded indefinitely. Travel is still going to be a huge business, period. That's what I thought. And I also remember reading a lot of books, and they said that when there is fear in the street, that's when a lot of the wealth is built. And I'm like, how's that possible? But so many books and so many successful people said that over and over. And I realized if you can stay level-headed in a pandemic, when most people are in pandemanium, when most people are panicked, if you can just stay level-headed and watch where the money is moving to, and you follow that stream. So don't be a consumer, be a creator. So when most people couldn't find masks, in COVID, or gloves, I ordered that from overseas. And yes, it could have been it could have like not worked out. I could have lost my money, but I spent thousands of dollars buying masks and gloves overseas, and then I sold them and I made money. So when people are running out to just buy toilet paper when there's a pandemic and everybody's running to the grocery store, you think about where you can buy in bulk overseas, or whoever manufactures it in bulk. So I challenge you to just shift the way you think. So I made a lot of money in COVID from multiple ways. And buying stocks was also one of them. And I did this, I actually posted this screenshot on Instagram, and I said, do you know you can buy stocks with as little as $5? And I created a coaching session around it, and women signed up and they were able to make money. This is a little video from just behind the scenes, just to show you all that I'm really hands-on with my people.
Sell the most. After Corona. Okay.
All right, and pick the first one.
Okay, Market Watch. Perfect.
Because every day the numbers change. So what I researched months ago or even last week, it varies. And scroll down and see some of the ones that they talked about. Keep scrolling.
I don't know what's up with my computer.
I think it's the internet.
It's just been acting up. I need to like clear up some space.
Okay. Yeah, I did that yesterday.
I have to. Where did it go? Okay. So,
And just scroll down. It should give you a list of some of them.
all right, cool.
All right, so like right there, it shows you a lot of them. All right, so some of these companies fell 6%, some, fell 9%, and you can see some of them are still in the traveling industry. I see Travelers Company. I saw, what did I see at the top?
Boeing.
Yep, yep. So do another search. When I searched, like just open another tab. Yeah, when I searched for companies that fell 80%.
Okay, so just type that in Google.
Yep, and see what comes up. Because if a company only fell 6%, it's not a lot of bouncing back. But if they fell 80%, you can like double and triple your money on the way back up.
Okay.
So I just wanted to show you behind the scenes of how I actually work with people because I actually care. And I take the same time that I wish somebody would take with me. This is actually a screenshot of my daughter's TikTok account. I remember when she came to me when she was 14, she said she wanted to start a lash company. And I thought she was just trying to, tell me that so she can wear lashes at 14 years old, which I did not approve. But turns out she had her business plan, she had her website, she created her logo, she showed me where she wanted to order her lashes from. She designed everything. She created her social media accounts, and I was like, okay, she's really taking this thing seriously. So I enrolled her in an e-commerce class, and then I financed her for her to order her first set of inventory, and she was off to the races. I remember her showing me her first screenshot, $937.32. So it's so many ways to make money out here. You're not too young, you're not too old, you just need direction, and that's what I'm here for. So another way you can make money is peer-to-peer lending. So if you say, Paige, I don't have a creative bone in my body. I can't sit down to write a book. I don't want to sit down to write a book. I don't want to create a course. I don't know what I'm good at, but I do have some money saved up or a retirement account, and I just want to park that somewhere and earn money on it. So there's different platforms. You can take a screenshot of this, and they're called peer-to-peer lending, where you essentially act as the bank and you lend your money to other business entrepreneurs, and they make their profit and they pay you back your percentage. So it's so many ways to make money that I expose my people to in my mentorship program. So after seeing all this, you may say, man, I feel behind. You're not behind. You're right on time, okay? Everything happens for a reason, but you're in the right place now. So the next level mentorship program interrupts this cycle by giving you a clear blueprint, life coaching, and accountability so you can build passive incomes streams that work for you, or so you can build passive income streams that work for you. So myth number one, people say, I need to quit my job before I can build passive income. No, you do not. The truth is, most successful women I work with build passive income streams while working their 9 to 5. And with the right blueprint and accountability, you can start creating that income that works for you without risking your stability. Myth number two, people say, I need thousands of dollars up front to get started. Not with this program, and I strategically designed it so it's affordable for the most for most people. So you don't need to spend thousands of dollars up front. You don't need a live month. What you need is live monthly coaching or live monthly membership from someone who's actually done it. Someone who can show you which income streams match your personality and your strengths and help guide you step by step. Myth number three, people say, I can figure this out on my own with free YouTube videos and courses. The truth, free content gives you information, but it doesn't give you personalized guidance. It doesn't give you live feedback, or it doesn't give you accountability. How many times have you read a book, or you took a course, or you went to a convention and the speaker said some amazing things, but you have like just one or two questions? and you weren't able to get that answered. So you just left that whole project alone, you know? So it's all about accountability and live feedback. That's what's missing in most programs. So a lot of times you try the YouTube thing and you end up getting more confused than when you started. What you need is a mentor that can answer your specific questions. So introducing the Next Level Mentorship Program. So it's a three-step program designed specifically for people who are ready to build passive income streams. So one, you get clarity. Two, you get a blueprint. And three, you get accountability. So when I say clarity, most people skip this step and wonder why nothing works for them. You can't build the right passive income streams if you haven't identified your strengths. So the income path assessment helps you identify which passive streams match your personality and skills and goals. So for years, I taught people how to trade in the foreign exchange and the cryptocurrency market. That's not a one size fit all program, okay? Like some people are more analytical, some people are more creative. So some people it resonated with, but for most people it did not. That's why I'm super excited to create this program because no matter what you are good at, no matter if you're introvert or extrovert, like you're bound to find a stream that resonates with you. So with clarity, you will get personality mapping. So what types of income fits your lifestyle and your skills and your schedule? You'll get the strength assessment. So, what are you naturally good at that can generate income? I'll show you like, how to realize your risk tolerance. Like, how much can you afford to comfortably invest in yourself, time and finances, and analyze your time availability. How much time can you realistically dedicate each week? So it's not guesswork, it's strategic planning. Imagine having this level of clarity and support available when you need it the most, regardless of how stuck or confused or overwhelmed that you feel. So you'll get a blueprint. This isn't generic advice or theory you'll have to figure out on your own. It's a step-by-step breakdown of how to build passive income streams from start to finish. So you all were able to see some of my streams from my books to my courses to my digital products to my real estate income to me renting out cars on Turo. So it's so many ways. And I actually wanted to show you all behind the scenes because a lot of people talk about what you should do. A lot of people tell you to buy their course because they read something and then they created a course around it. This is income I've been generating for years, up to 20 years. Okay. So it's not just theory. Once again, I actually showed you all the receipts in the back offices. So with my mentorship program, each monthly session covers a different stream of income. So once again, you will find something that resonates with you, whether you are creative or whether you are more analytical. So step two is the blueprint that you'll get. You'll get help identifying passive income streams that match your strengths. You'll create your first stream of income, and I'll help you with that step by step. We actually pull up the websites you need to go to, the resources, the apps, the tools. So I'm not just telling you where to go, I'm showing you the actual websites and steps you need to take. And you'll have ongoing support. So you'll have access to me every single month, not recorded, but live. And this is the first live program I've launched in 20 years. Because once again, I'm all about passive income. So if I'm showing up, that like that's rare, but I know it's needed. And how do I know? Because I've designed courses for years and I can actually see who started them, who completed them. Most people start them and not finish because they don't have live accountability. So even though it was a sacrifice for me to show up once a month live for 2 hours, I made that sacrifice and I designed that program because I know it's what people need. People don't need just a book. People don't need just a course. People need a certain time, a certain day to show up, and they need someone showing up with them. So it's not only me you'll have access to, you'll have the other women, you'll have support of other women on the journey with you every month. So the live sessions are every second Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And each session is recorded. So if you say, hey, I usually work in the evenings on Wednesdays, each session is recorded. So you'll have time to work on those passive income streams at your leisure. And the next session is actually June 10th. at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the third thing you'll get with my mentorship program is accountability. This is where the deepest transformation happens. So most people buy courses and never finish them because they don't have accountability. So live monthly coaching keeps you moving forward, answers your questions, and holds you accountable to the goals that you've set. So that is what you will get. You'll get the 2 hour live monthly coaching session. So the first hour is me teaching, the second hour is open up to questions and answers. So you get to ask your questions and get real feedback in live time. If there's something I happen to not understand, then we will Google it and AI it together. We will find the answer, okay? So we'll brainstorm solutions to challenges as they arise, and you'll be able to stay on track with your goals month after month. I would say the most frequent excuses I hear is, I don't have time for another program. Listen to that. Like, I don't have time. That's the key word. That is why I created this program so you can create passive income streams. So one day you will never have to say that again. You don't have time. It's 24 hours in a day. Like, if what you are already doing is not allowing you to free up more time, then you need to change that. I've been blessed to be financially free for 20 years. I walked away from the job force. Really, I didn't walk away. I got fired. I got fired and I was pregnant when I got fired. And from that day forward, I vowed that no one person, no one business, no one company, no one entity will have that much control over my life that if they fire me, then my life is in shambles. And I kept that promise to myself. It's been 20 years. I haven't had to put in an application. I haven't had to use my degree. So it's possible, people. It's possible. And you have the blueprint. I'm the blueprint. So you're in the right place. So if you don't have time for another program, that's exactly why you need this program, because it's all about getting your time back. For those who say, I've tried other programs and they didn't work, I bet you didn't try one like this with live monthly coaching where someone who's been financially free actually shows up for 2 hours and you get to pick their brain, you get to ask them questions, and they actually show you the websites that you can go to create your products or to find real estate or whatever we're going over that month. Like, it's not another program that exists like it. Some people will teach them one thing over and over, how to trade or how to write a book or how to design a course, but there wasn't one program that constantly taught a new stream of income every month. And that's why I created this one. And people may say, well, let me save money first. I made this program affordable. And when you hear the price, you will see. And honestly, if you hear the price and you're like, man, that's still a stretch, then this program isn't for you, because for the value you're getting, it can't get any lower than this. It honestly can't. And the sad truth is, the more you wait, the longer you delay your success. It's the habit of procrastinating that has kept you stuck and that you need to break to get to the next level. A lot of time it's not the information. It's information out there. If you really want, you can go find whatever you're looking for, especially with AI today. It's the fact that you say, let me think about it. Let me pray about it. Let me get started next week. Let me get started when I save enough money. And you don't realize you are your own worst enemy. Like, you're the one holding you back. So the minute you start jumping before you're ready, you unlock another level. And that's what successful people do that mediocre people do not do. The mediocre person or the average person says, let me think about it. And they think about it and they think about it. Then something happened. Then the money they were going to use got deducted from their checking account. And then they got sick. And then somebody died. And now it's 4 months later. And then it's 4 years later. And they still saying the same thing. Like, you do not understand how many times I've seen people hyped, ready to go, ready to pull the trigger on something life-changing, and they don't take the opportunity in the moment of the opportunity, and it pushed them back like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. So the women who get the best results all have one thing in common. They stop wasting, they stop waiting for the perfect time, and they start investing in themselves now. And if you're still with me, it tells me something important about you. You're not somebody who believes in settling. You're someone who knows deep down that you are meant for more. I mean, you can be anywhere right now, but you're here for a reason. It's something that I've said, it's something that I've been saying that resonates with you. And I challenge you to like honor that feeling, honor that feeling. If it's a nagging feeling that you've been feeling for a while, saying you're meant for more, or you feel like it's something more out there for you, or like it's another level to be unlocked, you just don't know how yet, then this message is for you. Don't take it lightly. I don't believe in coincidences, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that you're the exact kind of person this program is for, because if nothing I was saying resonated with you, if you probably didn't try other programs and they didn't work, you wouldn't be here. You're here because you're still searching for something, and I feel like this is it. So the next level mentorship program is the complete system for women who want passive income and take control of their lives. So it's everything I've learned from 20 years of experience and helping thousands of women and coaching women from over the years. Like I know what women need, and it's their time. And this program helps you get your time back. So today I'm opening enrollment for a select group of women who are ready to move
I'm
forward.
overjoyed. I'm taking this message far and wide, right? This growth on business. I mean, this was truly a retreat. It wasn't just a business conference. And it's the lives that you touch. Sometimes you don't have to do too much. It's the littlest things, But that phone call, when you said, let's just make it happen. And
oh my God. I think we all have similar stories. It's amazing. And the group, just seeing the vast.
thank you for just believing in me, because honestly, sometimes you see people from a distance, and people will say things, but until you back the things that you say with the action, it's just words. And then until you back it up, then the realness of who you are is seen, right? So for me, like, you have not only defended everything that you share, your belief, but you act it out. So you're not just all talk, you're talk and action.
That's one of my ladies, Diane, at one of the retreats I did in Orlando, Florida. I rented out a 10-bedroom villa and we just rocked out for the weekend. Yeah, we had a private chef, we had a masseuse come in, we had esthetician giving facials, we had videographers and photographers there. So the ladies and gentlemen was able to get content for their products and for their websites. Yeah, we did sunrise yoga. Like it was just a 360 retreat. So I really put thought into my events, whether they're physical or virtual, because I really feel like I'm walking in my purpose, and I'm just glad to be alive and glad to have figured it out for the most part and just sharing what I've learned. So the goal of this program is for you to create at least one or more passive stream of income. And this is how much it costs me to run the program every month, whether one person signs up, whether nobody signs up. So AI and productivity tools, almost $90, content creation, $70, marketing funnels and automation, over $400, websites and hosting, $100, storage and cloud services, $60, communication and operations, a little over $70, and finance and admin, a little over $200. So that's over $1,000 just to deliver the program. And when I created this program, it was just a feeling in me like this is what people actually need. And it took me a year to launch it, honestly, because I was like, damn, Paige, are you really ready to show up every single month, rain or shine, no matter if you get invited to another event? Like, are you willing to show up for these ladies like that? And the answer was yes. Like I feel so blessed to be chosen to like teach people what I know. So I committed to it, and I'm committed to y'all if y'all committed to yourselves, okay? So I would say the value that you're getting is $597 alone. That's for the 2 hour call. That alone is valuable. And I came up with this number because that's how much I charge for a one-on-one call with my current coaching clients. So that's easily a $600 value to for this program. Plus personalized accountability where you get to unmute and you ask me a question tailored to you and I'll answer it right then, and just real-time problem solving. I could easily sell this program for over $800 a month, but that is not what I'm doing today. It's not all about the money for me. Like, I remember the days I used to feel stuck. I remember the jobs I was at where I felt depressed. I remember like working them 9 to 5s, working 2 jobs and a job on the side and looking at it like, man, this is not enough. I need a way out. I remember just feeling stuck and defeated and depressed. And I never used to really talk to most people about how I was feeling, but I used to talk to God. And I also used to just talk to my phone. I would never post it, but I remember nights just crying and feeling frustrated and like, God, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I feel like I'm doing all the right things. I feel like I'm reading the books, I'm going to the workshops. I'm like, I ain't out here tricking. Like, I'm doing the right things. Like, why is it taking so long? I see women doing, the wrong things. They live in a fast life and they live in my dream, they in my dream car, like they in my dream house. Like, what am I doing wrong? I remember feeling like just defeated, So now to be on the other side, like it's not all about the money. It's like I want to be that person that my mentors were to me. So I made it as affordable as I feel like it should be, but still providing value, still making a profit. And yeah, I feel like I can easily justify 197 a month. So that's how much the program is, to help you create different streams of income, to help you get your time back so you can spend time with your family, so you can buy the things you want and not have to worry about a price tag, so you can take the trips you want and not just one time for 2 weeks. I mean, like how I did and just book the one-way trip to Bali for 3 months, okay? But for those of you who stayed on to the end, I'm doing something special for you. This is definitely the webinar special. And for the first set of you who are ready to join, you're ready to go, you're like, Paige, you could have dropped the link 20 minutes ago, okay? I'm on board. Like, it's $97. So if you are ready to go, you say, I've been on, I love what you're doing. I want to take the chance. I feel stuck. I don't want to feel like this in a year from now. I need to make some progress. And I feel like you are a woman who know what you're talking about and you can show me some things. Then drop a 1 in the chat box. Drop a 1 in the chat box if you say, I'm ready for the link. I'm ready for the link. I'm ready to go. I may have 1 or 2 questions, but I'm ready for my life to change. So it's only $97 a month. If you are on here now, then you can take advantage of this special. If you got to think about it, if you got to pray about it, if you come back in a month, 2 months from now, it's going to be the 197. And when people say, like, I'm very spiritual, not religious, but spiritual. When people say, I got to pray about it, I'm like, baby girl, you've been praying for a while. You consider this a sign. You've been praying for a while. All right, I see the messages in the chat box that send the link, send the link. So I'm dropping the link now. If for some reason it is not working, let me know. And I'm going to be on a few minutes while you all are signing up. In case you have any questions, you can type it in the chat or unmute. So it's 2 options you have. You can pay monthly or you can pay annually. So there's no end date to the program. It's ongoing. So every month I'm showing up with new content and we're going to show you how to make money in different areas. So it's $97 a month. There's no contracts. I'm not going to hold you hostage. You can quit at any time, but just remember you're quitting all yourself. Remember, God willing, I'm going to continue to level up. God willing, the women who are running with me going to continue to level up. So I would love for that to be one of y'all. So no, there's no contracts. And you can either pay the 97 monthly, or you can do it annually. So the annual price is $11.46, but if you take advantage of this special today, then it's only the $9.70 for the next 12 months. So you will actually save 20%. So it is up to you. And there are programs like Klarna and Affirm available on the checkout link that you can use as well. So I have another bonus for you. So for the women who sign up right now today, not only will you get the program at 97, you will also get the clarity session recorded. So that is a session I taught about a year or so ago, just showing women how to dissect their goals into manageable steps. Because a lot of women may have goals, they may have them written down, they may have a goal board that they created, like the one behind me, but they don't know how to actually break the pieces of that puzzle down into digestible steps and add deadlines and timelines to them so the goals just stay up there indefinitely. So I created a clarity session where I taught that class a little over a year ago, so you will be able to get that recorded. And for those of you who want the annual program, or the annual pricing, you will also get the clarity session and you will get the 7 streams of income video training. So that's also a 2-hour recording. And you saw some of my streams of income today. So I show even more in this training, and not only mine, but so many other ways you can make money passively. So for those of you who said it's cool that it's once a month that I get to hop on live with you, but I'm a self-starter. I have some extra time on my hands and I just want to go full-fledged. So this would be great for you. Awesome. And that is it. So for those of you who still thinking about that $97, or even if it was $197, I challenge you to think about what you are already paying money on every month that is not getting you ahead. Some of y'all have Netflix. I gave up TV 20 years ago. I don't have a Netflix account, okay? And you probably know enough people who have Netflix, they would probably be willing to give you their login, okay? So Netflix has to go. If you're not financially free, you have no time watching Netflix right now, baby girl. Save that for another year or two. So Netflix, Hulu streaming services that you're probably paying $50 a month, even at $15 a month, that can go towards a program like this one that will get you ahead. So for those of you who buy coffee every morning, cut down on that. Like, in my big old age, I still make my own coffee with my organic coconut milk, and then I put it in my Starbucks cup. Okay. So you have to be creative. Think about what you are spending money on. That $6 adds up, the $20 adds up, and put it towards something that is getting you ahead. You still buying clothes and shoes that you don't need. I promise you, you do not need anything else from Ross, TJ Maxx, or Target. Okay. And some of you spending money on gym memberships that you don't use. So like you can run around the block, you can put all your music, run in a park, you can work out in your living room, but think about ways to be creative to cut back so you can comfortably afford this program. I do not want you to have a $97 or $197 problem in a year from now. So we got to change some things. All right. I see some people said they got on here late, but they are definitely interested. Awesome. Awesome. So you want the recording. All right, I will get that to you. I'll get some information to you on that you missed. All right, I see. Hey, my new mentor just bought. I have to get off, okay, to feed the baby, okay? But you are in the program. Congratulations, congratulations. We're gonna talk in a bit and you will get an email right away. In the next few minutes, you'll get an email and you'll be able to access the last few sessions. So you'll be able to hit the ground running. But welcome, welcome. Love to have you on board. And thank you so much for trusting me. I do not take that lightly. So while you all are still signing up, if you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat or unmute. Put it in the chat or unmute. Lacey, I will definitely get you that information. I should have your phone number, but still, if you have my phone number, send me a text. If not, you can drop it in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Or if you can figure out how to do it privately, that is fine as well. But thank you so much for showing up.
Yes, I literally just woke up and I was like, I missed it. And I hopped on, you're still here. So I'm glad that I at least was able to catch the end of the meeting. I'm
Yep.
interested in finding out more about what the beginning was about, but I definitely like what I'm hearing at the end. I am definitely searching for passive incomes right now.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I
let's
got
do
you.
it. Yes, 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 yes,
I got
yes.
you. So we are going to talk after this. So send me the phone number privately if you can, or if you already have my phone number, then text me.
Okay, I think you just text me.
Okay. So I have it. Cool.
Okay.
And Miss Kyan, hope I'm not butchering the name. If you are in a position to unmute, you can go ahead, or if you have any other questions, now would be the time. And y'all take advantage of me while I show up live because this whole masterclass will be automated, okay, in just about 2 weeks. It's gonna look live, but it won't be live. So if you are here live, yeah, take advantage. Cool. So for those of you who may say, what if I can't attend the live session? Everything is recorded and you will have the recording within 72 hours so you can watch at your own pace. For those of you who ask how long is the program for, the goal is to explore various passive income streams and create at least one that starts generating income. So it's an ongoing program and you can cancel anytime. But I would recommend you don't because we are all students of life. I know I am, and things are ever changing, especially in today's economy with AI. So I would love to continue to teach and bring other experts on, and we all can grow together. They say you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and I'm a firm believer of that. For those of you who are wondering, can you talk to me outside of the group calls? Yes, I am still available for coaching sessions, for one-on-one coaching sessions for women who are already a part of this program. So just get with me and I will let you know my rate sheet. So the only question left is, are you ready to invest in yourself? And are you ready to stop researching and start building? If the answer is yes, then this is your time. So path one, you can continue researching alone, hoping you'll figure it out, spending years possibly stuck in the learning phase without taking action. Or path two is just invest $97 a month to learn from someone who's been financially free for over 20 years and have helped thousands of other people create passive income. Because the time is going to pass anyway, whether you like it or not. So where will you be in 12 months from now? Closer to your goal or further from your goal? I'm not saying everything's going to happen overnight. Everything will happen in the first few weeks, first few months, maybe not the first year, but you will be closer to your goal. You'll learn so much more. So where will you be in a year from now? So for those of you who already signed up, congratulations. You will be off to the races. Check your email and you will be able to start watching the past teachings. And this is what the sign up page looks like. You can pick the monthly program or the annual program and just click one button because if you click two, it's going to charge you for two. We don't want to do that. So just pick one and you'll get your bonuses right away. You'll be able to watch one of the last recordings, which is what is affiliate income. And thank you all for showing up. And if you have any questions, reach out to me in email, or if you have my phone number, you can text me if you're already one of my coaching clients. And you can reach out to me on social media, But I love y'all and thank you so much for staying to the end. And I'm just excited. Yeah, I'm just excited. Any questions before we hop off?
So is there a way I could get a copy of this video? Did you say?
Yep, so I am going to send you the recording.
Okay.
All right, so y'all have about 15 minutes for those of you who didn't sign up yet to take advantage of the special. So love y'all and enjoy your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.